Hey everybody, I'm Crow. Welcome back to Dark Cloud. We're gonna do kind of short mini episodes because of how long this is going to take to get through here. I didn't realize. So kind of what I was thinking, we're on the ice floor now. You can see it's pretty much the same thing, but the walls are a little bit, they're all icy now. The enemies swapped too, so it's kind of more like the sunken boat stuff. But like the golems and things stayed the same. As evidenced by this guy, they're not the sill things anymore, they're the steel giants. But for the most part, I'll just duplicate enemies. I get them really low, and then I swap to someone else, which I guess I could do Ruby for this one. Nope, she's already capped too. I don't have the gems that I want to put in there because I need more money, but I basically realized that we're probably not going to need anything more than one melee and one range to do whatever this boss fight is. Because these levels, all the way up to this 39th floor, there are no limited zones. Which means there's no reason for me to use anyone in particular. And there's no, like, doors that need to be opened by shooting a crystal, or gaps that need to be jumped over. Like, if you only wanted to use one character, you could get all the way to the end of this place without ever swapping from that character. Which leads me to believe that Tone's probably the best melee I could use, which is why I got his antique sword. I got the Buster Sword, put it in there, upgraded it to the Brave Arc. Currently working on getting it built up into whatever this is as well. Just needs Ice and Thunder, which is pearls and either amethysts or opals, I think. But I need more money. So it's already ready to upgrade though, so once I get the money for those, I'm just going to upgrade it right away. I took Ungaga's weapons, his Mirage, because it had really high base stats. Once Tone's weapon gets to the final rank where it can just soak up stats, I'm going to put it in there. I also got his 5-foot nail, and I'm gonna put it inside Osmond's weapon, which will actually cap the damage too. Because I don't really care too much about his other stuff. This will make it harder for him to steal things, but what the critical effect does is there's a chance on every hit that it just instantly kills whatever you're shooting. And with how many things block, like he's the one that I've been using to clear these floors. Like that should do a lot. We're pretty in between on funds at the moment. We got half of enough for one of those. Since the stealing can actually steal valuable things, like, let me tell you, the fire floors were way better. The stuff that I get from these floors are mostly just rocks and stuff. It's been quite a bit more difficult, especially with the amount of blocking stuff does. These enemies, too. Like, some of these enemies have to have, like, 5,000 health. I'm like, man, did the Dark Genie even have that much health? It's not like they did too much to change them, but just the damage that they do and stuff. Hey, we got a crit. It might have been the first one. I like that though. See, I figured once I found out what that was, because I just googled them, I was like, what do these things actually do? I wonder how often it's going to happen, like, per clip. Apparently it's not very often. That thing might be like a 1% chance or something. It didn't have a percentage. But, like, even if it is, it would still be best to go to him. Unless they took that into consideration and it's like a 10% for everyone else. Nah, he's got the range for it. I think we would definitely want him to do it. If only it could work through blocks. Unfortunately, most everything two-shots any of my characters here, which is what's been making it kind of difficult. Been managing though. I mean, it's not like they're devastating me on every floor. I have died and had to leave a few times, but that was mostly just because I would get whatever it was super low with Osmond, and whoever gets the killing blow. Ah, these are the new guys. This is the only new enemy that I've actually run into. They act like the mummies, where if you kill them, sometimes they just get back up with more health. But they have a flail, and it actually has a unique weapon sound. At least I'm pretty sure anyway, I don't remember hearing it. Also, just in case, I know I haven't used them before, but the auto repair powders, if you set it as an active item, just taking up a slot kind of like an amulet would, whenever your weapon's going to break, it consumes this instead. It costs 10 times as much as one of these. It's 200 instead of 20. Right, they also don't stack, because I guess that would be overpowered or something, but just in case, our weapons can't break even if I miss it now. Because if that goes out of there, I can just put another one in there. And there's no way the weapon could break twice from full durability. I did go back and look at it, and Tone's sword... I heard the sound of him hitting that Arthur twice. So I think it glitched. Either that or when he blocks with his right arm, or left arm as it was, instead of left or something, it does 24 durability, but that seems kind of excessive. I'm sad that we lost the Chronicle Sword, but I don't really think we need it. As long as I have one of the final level swords, I don't think it has to be the absolute best. I just need to make sure for whatever that boss fight is, that we've got like 30 stand-in powders, 30 revival powders, and like 30 premium chickens or something. Auntie Medus are the bane of my existence. Oh, she's being cooperative now. Normally she just blocks and then never stops blocking. Like, I know I said that about a lot of things in the other dungeons. They get ridiculous. You get right up in their face, you get super far away, it's just like, I can't find a happy medium. Sometimes... Did that say tearing? Oh, tearing it open may activate a trap. I always think it's weird that, like, there's different dialogue for this in here. Stinger! Oh noes! We can't switch away from the good gun. Give me something amazing. Another fairy's ring. That's okay, but since they don't have any of the other stuff built into it, like, what I really look for in weapons isn't high base damage, because unless you have a level 6 weapon, it doesn't really matter. It's the monster slayers and the elements that are great. See, she's blocking now. And then she stopped. Man, maybe I should just record the whole time. Them just randomly falling over, like, Osmond can fire for so long. His durability is so good. And he does so much damage. Like, one of Tone's attacks is finally, like, up to snuff, insofar that it could do as much damage as one of Osmond's attacks. But Osmond has a machine gun, and Tone has, like, a 3-hit combo. So, it's not really comparable. But, I mean, he has his ultimate weapon, like, maxed out, and Tone has what I assume to be a level 4 weapon. I take it this is lightning. Hey, the golds. I just took to not using elements on their weapons, at least not on Osmond's. Because there's always like one thing that just does not care about you having elements, and it takes like massively less damage. It was the Yamachs in the last area, and it was the what was it? The werewolves. The werewolves were actually immune to it. Yamachs just seemed to take drastically less damage from stuff. I mean, unless Holy did. I tried Thunder and some other stuff, and it just wasn't really working out. Whenever they started saying that there was elemental floors in the stuff that I saw, I was like, dude, cool. Then once you get to that floor, you just swap to the counter of that element, and then everything on that floor dies super easily. But they did basically what every other dungeon did. They just sprinkled around elements of everything. Like, Thunder wasn't necessarily good on the watery ice floor, because lots of stuff needed Holy. I think some of it actually needed Fire. And here I imagine it would be much the same. I like these guys. Like, Ungaga's the only one I have that ever really dies to them, because he gets, I almost got punched out. He gets bumped by the shockwave, because Ungaga's huge. As much as I didn't really care for the enemies on the blue floors, I have to say it looked nicer. It's a bit too bright here. I like white light a lot more than I like yellow light. You know what? I haven't tried one of these yet, so I might as well. I don't imagine this is going to be terribly long anyway. The eye. You put the crystal eye in the sculpture. Oh my god, it's one of those turny things, isn't it? That's a nifty way of doing it. Oh, they actually made it dark in here. That was quick. Eons. Oh my god, they take no damage. I'm good. These are. I'm good. I'm glad these are the weak Eons. Bishop Q? That I have never seen before. You remember when I said I was really glad that I put the critical thing in the weapon? It was because of how much faster we killed the Yon. This must be a really low chance. Like, this guy is definitely just going to drop dead before we actually manage to kill him. I would imagine. Is this really? Wow, that has to be like actually a 1% chance, because we're hitting them a lot. It's kind of nifty how they could just change the effects and it kind of feels like a different area. Like, this is just regular colors, I guess. Okay. Ah, you know what? They don't have as much health. Maybe it was just because I was doing low damage? I guess those guys are really resistant to air and I should have just switched off of it. I kept thinking everything down here was going to be awful. I guarantee if that thing hits me, it's going to do more than the max health of any of my characters and just instantly kill them. I always wondered why there's hooks on the chest. Like, it's more obvious on the big ones. But I'm like, what are those supposed to hook onto? Like, I figured if the lid would open, then that would catch on the back so that the lid didn't slam all the way down or something. But what's the front one for? It's locked. And it's not a mimic. Another halberd. Why is it always for Ungaga? I've already sold a couple of those, because I don't really have any intention of using him again. I got the critical effect I wanted for Osmond, and the Naginata will help Tone out a lot. So that's a diamond and a sapphire. Diamonds are always welcome, pretty much. Because once you get to level 6, you can just cap everything out. And then, once we get the Chronicle Sword 2, assuming it doesn't come with max stats, it always works on Yons for some reason. We could just throw his sword into that, and then it really would have maxed everything. Not that there would be any reason to do that, but still, we can. Anyhow, there's like minimal variation in the like the enemy layouts and stuff, and there's no Atla or anything, so we're gonna leave it a little short. Probably a lot short, actually. Because I'm just gonna be upgrading stuff, and I don't imagine that this would be terribly interesting. So thank you guys very much for watching. I got 40 more floors to do, ish. I'll see you around floor 80. Later, everybody.